the black actor, American actor, I feel like there's been a decline.
The British invasion.
The British invasion has taken over. The days of you guys, like you, or like the guys I mentioned, are far in between. Like, but you guys are still doing it. But I don't see the next like rendition of the black male actor because of the British invasion. What are your thoughts?
Listen, I don't look at it as a competition. I look at the collective. Okay. So, you know, there's brothers who are doing it, whether they're doing it here in America, whether they're doing it, you know, over from the UK or even from the mother continent, Africa. I'm cool with whatever it's going to be. But I feel like Hollywood believes there's more value in British black actors.
This is 100% the case. But nobody really wants to articulate that. Nobody really wants to be honest about that.
Black actors. And I think a part of it goes into that, oh, they have an audience over there. So they translate internationally. Going back to that, what I think is, you know, a hoax that we don't sell or we're not valuable. So I think they put that in the mix. And also I just think Hollywood is just in love with the UK and all things, you know, British. And so.
Especially the accent. I mean, come on. They love the accent. You got a group of people that in some cases descend from this place. And it's charming perhaps to have that accent on a black person.
I feel like the black American actor is, you know, I see what that decline is, but you know, we here.
You're here, yeah. Y'all are here.
Yeah,
y'all are here.
But I love the collective, so I'm not.
They killing it. I mean, those guys are killing it.
Yeah, they killing it. And listen, my heart ain't pumping no Kool-Aid. I know what I stand on. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, it's blood run through these veins. You know what I'm saying? It's cold as ice, bro. So we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, what you think about that? For me, this one hits close to home. I, as well as many of my friends that are actors, black actors, that are traversing through the industry right now, we've been dealt a raw deal. We've been dealt an unfair hand. And you could say it's timing, you could say it's luck of the draw. You could say they're better actors than us. But I have to tell you that's not the case. There's something else at play here. And of course, when you have an actor like LARENZ Tate, one of our celebrated actors in the black community, you can't go anywhere without somebody knowing his performance as O-Dog in Menace to Society. That's a career-making performance. And he continues to do a high level of work in shows such as Power. And so when people think black actors and they make a statement about this, they assume that black actors are just complaining. You guys aren't trained enough. You guys need to work harder. Well, I can tell you, personally, some of y'all might not even know I'm an actor, but part of the reason I'm here is because of this very discussion. You know, he brings up a good point about the fact that they have a fan base in another country, that perhaps they're more marketable for that reason. And their complaint, you know, because as LARENZ said, I'm part of the collective as well. I'm not a hater. Everybody, there's enough for everybody, right? But when you see a trend, you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge that this is happening for a reason that's out of our control. And no amount of training, no amount of nepotism is combating it. So what I realize about this is that what a lot of people get confused is that a lot of times they're like, well, they work harder, or they're this, or they're that. Sam Jackson said, well, maybe they're a little more affordable, because if you think about it, you don't have to spend as much money on someone who is coming to this country in a major role as an unknown. Whereas an American actor, we have to work to a certain level to get that major role. We have to have a body of work that backs us up into that. It doesn't seem like they're willing to take that many risks on unproven commodities from the United States. They're more than willing to do that with someone from overseas. Now, some of my favorite actors, I'm gonna be honest, some of my favorite actors in the past few years have come from the UK. I mean, that's not even in question. But the fact that you're seeing so much of a shift towards this, it starts to pit one set of black people against another set of black people, right? And so the fact that LARENZ Tate, someone with 30 years in the game, just about, has to come out and address this, you know it's risen to a level where it's a problem. But none of this is going to change unless it can be seen for what it really is. It's discrimination. It's absolutely 100% discrimination, because Hollywood is one of the last bastions of legalized discrimination. It's almost been a practice of sorts. You know, for years, there weren't any roles for black actors, but all of a sudden we got these British actors and there's plenty of roles for them. So the black actors, this is my word to the black actors from the UK that eventually end up in the United States and, you know, make a name for themselves. I would say the work of the black actors that came before you, 100 years of the film industry, lack of opportunity, investing their whole lives like Robert Townsend to get a break and make a movie of his own. Or like Keenan Ivory Wayans, bringing his family together and putting out his own projects. The Oscar Michauds, Samuel L. Jacksons, the Denzel Washingtons, the actors that you've known and loved and grown up on. Lawrence Fishburne. They paved the way for you to be here. And the fact that you don't see anybody to your right and to your left that is American, it should raise alarm. It should raise alarm because you're not being judged necessarily on a merit system. You're benefiting from a system that discriminates. Let that sink in for a second. A lot of us actors have improvised. We've found different ways to get our voices out there. We've produced our own films. But without the right distribution and the right access into certain levels of the industry, we don't get to really bring that to the mainstream. We don't necessarily get that out to the public. Don't try to get financing for a project unless you're already got several stars attached and everybody's known. But, you know, that's the thing. The star system is dying. A lot of the actors that we know, that we are familiar with, we wouldn't necessarily consider them on the A-list. And that seems to have happened in the last 10 years where it seems like there's a slew of people that are in one really big film and maybe have a smaller independent film career after that. Now, I'm not going to say if you're not in a Marvel film, you won't be able to live the rest of your life off that Marvel film because, yeah, it happens. But unfortunately, it really stops us in our tracks. You know, it stops the industry in its tracks, and the industry starts to feed on itself in some ways. But there's no reason LARENZ TATE, he went through a phase where he led several different movies, and they were successful. They're classics. People go back and watch them. Love Jones, Dead Presidents, and the list goes on. So the fact that LARENZ TATE, of all people, someone that we should consider a legend in some rights, is feeling that type of pressure coming from the industry, you know. But shout out to the British actors that are coming over here. I just want them to be more aware of what they're walking into. It's no hate. Actors are actors all over the world. I've even studied in the UK when I was in college just to make myself a little more marketable before I took on even higher training in the United States. You know, this goes out to all my black actors out here who are still looking for a break. Keep fighting. Your time is coming. If you fight the good fight, if you sit in the barbershop long enough, eventually you're gonna get your head cut. This goes out to my black actors out here that are on the grind every day, getting your auditions ready. You having to be more independent than ever, putting yourself on tape multiple times if you're getting auditions. If you have an agent, I haven't even been able to get meetings in some of the biggest offices out here. But hopefully after this YouTube channel blows up, I'll be able to negotiate a little differently. But stay with it. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.